Hey, Mike. Hello. Get a bit of lag as well tonight, of course. Need to buy that new OBS camera Mike was recommending. Yeah. See how we're getting on. Overhead camera seems laggy. Yeah, it was lagging the other night, man. I need to buy a new camera for it. Or new software. Because the software is... I was going to say, I felt like I had two sets of software. I can't remember what the other one was called. Yeah, maybe I haven't installed the other one on this computer. Maybe it was on my old computer. It's been a long time since I used the other software. I don't know why this one is... This one really doesn't have that many options. Like, there isn't that much to do, option-wise. Like, one drop down for the video format. Maybe if I change it to 1920. Maybe that's better? Is that better? I'll say it's taking a second to focus. Oh, maybe the... Oh, it looks better. Does it seem better? Good evening. Huh, okay, so it's probably just trying to capture it too high a frame rate. Okay, cool. Gilliman was so good last night. I don't know if you watched the game last night. Gilliman was so fucking good for Blood Angels. It was ridiculous. Like, it was ridiculously good. As such, I'm now going to see if I can find something we can make a proper real-size Gilliman conversion from. And I have here a brand new box of, what the fuck is this? Age of Sigmar Soul War. This is unopened, by the way. Oh, look, it's got something on a decent sized base. How big is that base? Is that 60? What goes on the 60? We need to make a Gilliman. Got the core rulebook in there as well. Does Gilliman Aura give to Blood Angels? Yes, and it's fucking awesome. He gives Blood Angels oh, you got a sample chapter. Cool. He gives Blood Angels +1 to charge, which stacks with the Red Thirst. He gives us reroll 1s for everything within 12, including non-core. And then we also get reroll morale tests as well, which is like borderline broken because morale isn't supposed to be rerolled in the 9th edition. Like, it's like properly broken. Alright. What have we... There's got to be instructions for this stuff. Where's the instructions? Oh, it's probably in this Battle Tomb box thing. Alright. I've had this Age of Sigmar set since it came out. I've never opened it. I got so much plastic that it's not open, man. Hello, Jim. Hello, XO. Do you think the G-Man list will be the same versus Iron Hands or Dark Angels, though? Well, I mean, it won't be as strong, but do you mean will it be the same as in will I run the same list? I mean, I'll try it. I want to give it a try. I guess these would be the instructions. Oh, it's the catapult that goes on that. Oh, how rubbish. So this isn't going to work, I don't think. I was hoping I could find something big that's like more than 3 centimeters high. I mean, that would be big and more than 3 centimeters high, but it's not gonna work. Gilliman is in parts 78 and 80 of the Imperial magazine. Good to know he's good for us. Oh, well, cool. Yeah, he is good for us. He's amazing for us. Like, he's so good that I was just experimenting with the Gilliman list. I was like, this will be a fun list, but I don't know how serious it'll be. And then after I run it, I was like, actually, I think this may become my tournament list. Or my next GT. Like, I think I might actually run Gilliman in a GT. And I think I might run Battle Predator as a GT as well. He also gives 3 CP. Yep, he gives us, so you start on 9 CP, which is pretty nice. And he also does indeed, when he dies on a 4-up, he revives. Right, so hold on. What actually do I get in this box? Is there anything in this box that can be converted to Gilliman? I'd really hope there'd be something in this box that could be converted to Gilliman. I don't think there's anything big enough. Hey Camille, thank you so much for becoming a member, or... Let me see if you said a message. Age of Sigmar. No, not really. I'm what the fuck is this? I'm just trying to see if I've got some Sigmarines, or Stormcast Eternals as you would call them. I bought this box, and I've got a bunch of other Sigmar stuff. I'm just trying to find something that could be made into Gilliman. No extra banners lying around. I mean, I could put a banner on top of Helbreck. I mean, I can buy Gilliman. I was just trying to see if I could make something. Right, well, there's nothing in the Soul Warden box, so I've got like 4 more boxes here. Still pretty difficult to pick up heavy things with my broken arm, so if you hear any grunting, it's just me being a pussy. I've got this box, which is definitely not going to be big enough to give anything from Gilliman. I've got these guys. I've got this, also not going to be any use. I've got this and this, probably also not going to be any use, so none of this. Those Steelheart Champions are maybe... I think at one point I was going to try and do like some Primaris conversions with some of these Sigmarines, because I think they're... I keep wanting to call them Sigmarines, I don't know if anyone calls them Sigmarines. Sigmar Marines. I've got this, but I guess none of that could be Gilliman. Undead horses look like they're on bigger bases, though. I don't think it would. I don't think there's any. Yeah, that's not the right size. Man, how I've got all this Sigmar stuff and none of it's going to be any use. None of it's got any use. Where is all this from, John? This is all from my garage, James. I have more. This is all from before I even started the Blood Angels Commander channel. I have 2 armies here. I guess I've got the Undead and I've got the Sigmar Marines. And I've done nothing with either of them. Are you proud of it? Like, I've literally done nothing with any of them. I've got this as well. It's about 200 bucks worth of stuff, maybe slightly more, maybe 300. And I've got this box, the Death Rattle. This is the box that I started. I mean, I bought these because I thought to myself, skeletons will be easy to paint, so why don't I get skeletons? Turns out that, like, I buy more models than I really have time to paint. That seems to be the problem here. Gilliman is the size of an old Demon Prince. I have a Demon Prince in brand new inbox on sprue. Oh, hold on, my daughter's up. One sec. Hey, sweetheart. Lie back down. Gilliman seemed pretty good in the last game. He was amazing, dude. Like, he was so good that, like, I think my GT list might include Gilliman. No, there's nothing big in that box either. I can't believe I've got $300 worth of Age of Sigmar and there's not a single model on, like, a giant Gilliman-sized base. Didn't think you played Age of Sigmar. I don't. I've never played Age of Sigmar. I've never even made a model, but I've got all this stuff. Cool, right? You should offload some of this stuff and then buy Bobby G. Yeah, I mean that's probably the right idea. Helguinius is good. I'm not sure he's tall enough, Cliff, though. Like he's less than 3 inches tall, and I didn't realise this. Gilliman's like 3.5 inches tall, and I'm worried that someone in competitive play will feel like I am jipping them by using a too small a model. Alright, well the Age of Sigmar stuff's going back into its box. It'll go back into the garage. It's failed me. It's completely failed me. How gutty. I was convinced I was going to have something big in the Age of Sigmar box. I've got a Demon Prince though. You the right size? I mean, his wings are pretty big. What size base does Demon Prince go on? Oh, don't tell me I don't have the base. I've nabbed the base for something else. God damn it. Is he supposed to be on a 60? I was going to say maybe I'd just put those giant wings onto Helbrecht and then he would be fine. I don't think they would fit though. I think they'd look well out of place. I like the Helbrecht that I made. I'm just Black Rage Gilliman, no wings. I do like the Helbrecht that I made. I just don't know if anyone will I don't want to use a model that's considerably smaller, and then somebody be really upset about it. So. I've got so many models here as well. I've got nothing that's that big. Anyone got a brilliant idea? What model could be converted? Because the chicken dreadnoughts are too small as well. They're not tall enough. I really was surprised to find Gilliman's bigger than a chicken dreadnought. I might have something actually. Alright, maybe. This may be like my last hope. Could this be my Gilliman? He's surely tall enough. Yeah, tape measure. Looking for 3.5 inches. Do you know what? He's not actually that much taller. He's like 4. Then this guy's modelling for disadvantage as a Guilliman because he's going to be taller. But I mean, he's going to be lookout sword anyway, right? If the model's slightly larger, no one's saying anything. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. I'd have to fix his arm, and I'd have to fix his little Blood Angels thing that goes on the top of him, which makes him even taller, actually. But, I mean, I could do that. Yeah, screw it. This is my Guilliman then. Let me just. This is a 60mm base, right? Got magnets on the base. Yeah, this is a 60. Maybe a tiny bit bigger. No, it's a 60. This is 60. Cool. Furioso Primarch. Yeah, I'll just get some colors on him so that he looks half decent. Hello, Dirty Wizard. Good evening. What's that? It's a Custodes Dreadnought. Indeed, it is. So it's got a bolter on here. It's got a custom-built cape. I also have this other one. This will be really modelling for disadvantage. I've got this one as well. But I mean, he's about. He's going to be even taller. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, he's 6.5 inches. I'll have to glue this wing on, which I'm sure is going to be a fucking nightmare. You see where it was glued before. It doesn't look too bad, actually. It was quite a clean break. What do you think? If you were coming up against the Blood Angels in a tournament, what would you be less upset about? This guy is Guilliman? Or this guy is Guilliman? I mean, I think this guy's more imposing. I just think it'd take me 3 weeks to paint the wings. Just proxy the 30. I don't have the 30k Sanguinius model. He's on the wrong size base as well, right? They're both dreads. They're both dreads. They're both Custodes dreads. I kind of want to do the white one. Guilliman's on a 60mm base. Wings are too much. The wings are imposing though, man. Hey sellers. Do you know what? While I'm fixing this other guy, I'll fix this guy's wings as well, so why not? What do I need? I need some glue. I need... Felt like I needed something else. What did I need? Oh, another bit of Space Marine glue, okay. The red one is imposing? Okay. Alright, we'll start by fixing the red one's spear anyway. Where's my super glue? Personally, I hit the let's stick wings on Marines aesthetic. It's cringe. Okay, I mean, I don't know anything about anime. I just think Blood Angels typically have wings, right? The Emperor's Spear. Yeah, I mean, technically it's the Emperor's Sword. Today it's the Emperor's Spear. Cool. Alright, then I found something. I'm gonna glue this guy and I put some paint on him. This is now my Gilliman. He's big enough. Cool. This dreadnought has been languishing unpainted for far too many years now, probably, so it'll be good to give him some love. May I ask your opinion on Double Infernal Pistol Vanguard Veterans? I'm going to have a tournament this Sunday. I'm not a huge fan because there's no way to fire, right? I mean, a Double Infernal Pistol guy is just... I mean, it's just the same as a standard guy with a multi-melta. Sanguinius had wings, no one else did. Well, I mean, Astaroth has wings, and Sangreguard have wings, and the Sanguinar has wings. So we do have some characters with wings. Hello, Chris. I thought putting wings on that dreadnought was more like, you know, the psychic power. What's the Wings of Sanguinius? That was more why I had wings on it, because I thought that kind of made sense. It wasn't just sticking wings on because I thought it looked cool. Gilliman uses 60mm base, the same size as a Contemptor, and the Ballista from Edge of Sigmar, says Mark. Yes, so I've got Contemptor here. I've got one that I mean, he's got a cloak and stuff, so he's on a bit of a scenic base. His spear broke when I moved house, because the spear wasn't broken before I moved house, but I already put the pin into it. Like, there's already a bit of paper clip and stuff. So I already drilled it out and pinned it. I guess I just never reset the super glue, so this should be fine. Anyone recommend which units just buy next from a Blood Angels army? Currently have Assault Intercessors, Death Company, Bladeguard Vets, Mephiston, and Primaris Ancient. Terminators probably, or an Impulsor, or Sanguinary Guard. Yeah. That would be probably what my suggestions were. Well, I mean, I've got one with wings and one without. The one with wings was probably as much a decorative idea as much as... but honestly, if you didn't watch the battle report for last night, would a Dreadnought be a good shout? Well, they're just releasing a new Dreadnought, the Brutalis Dreadnought, right? And the Brutalis Dreadnought looks like it's going to be better than... I was going to say, it looks like it's going to be better than... it looks like it's going to be better than Redemptor, and it's probably more cost effective than the other Dreadnoughts that are out there at the moment, so... If you want to buy a Dreadnought, just be aware that when the Brutalis releases, probably... they already previewed it, so I can't imagine it's going to be more than like 3 months away. When they release the Brutalis, you're going to be like, damn man, I want a Brutalis Dreadnought, because I think the Brutalis is going to be the strongest option. I really like the look of the Brutalis Dreadnought. I kind of feel sad that I have 3 Redemptors. Because probably if I just didn't have 3 Redemptors, I would just buy 3 Brutalises, but yeah. Dirty Wizard's been waiting ages for Darktide and just realised it's free. I like Darktide. I haven't played it that much, but I liked it. Robert's going to be picking up at least 2 Brutalises for his Black Templars. Paint Rob. I was going to paint his armour gold. I mean, just because gold is easier to paint than black. The new Brutalis is going to be launched in a fear of missing out box for a while. Yeah, I mean, that sucks, doesn't it? Claws or fists on the Brutalis. I haven't seen... I think the only time I've seen the weapon profile is like very briefly on Auspex Tactics video, like the leak, so I don't actually know the full... I just know what he had on the leak, and I don't remember if Claws or Talons are better. I seem to think that Talons looked like they would be better for Blood Angels, because our additional strength, or sorry, our additional +1 means that it would give us more options, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen the official rules, I've just seen the leak. The Brutalis in shooting will probably be better than Redemptor as well, that's the sad part, yeah. double multi-melta just seems like it'll make it better. This guy's wing hadn't broken off before I moved house as well, so whoever moved this box when I moved house... I think it was me. I think I moved all my Warhammer stuff myself, because I didn't trust... We got a moving company to help us move house. I didn't trust the moving company to be delicate enough with my Warhammer stuff. I'm very precious about my Warhammer. And I think I moved all this stuff myself, so I guess I broke this myself, so nobody to blame. Multi-meltas are locked to the talons, then I guess multi-meltas are going to be the way to go, right? I thought the multi-meltas were like nipple guns. Is that Sanguinius? No, it's Custode's Dreadnought with some custom wings on it. But it's going to be... One of these Dreadnoughts is going to be Rebooty Guilliman in my next GT. I'm thinking the red one. Wonder how long I'm going to have to hold this wing, or I'm wondering if I can balance them where gravity will hold it. I guess I'm holding it for a minute. Oh, yeah, it's definitely not even close to being stuck. The whole thing just fell off again. Is there a way that I can put him down where gravity will hold it? Maybe. Maybe. Come on, gravity, do your thing. Right, so we'll throw some paint on this guy then. I would like it if I had a slightly bigger... Just moved, did it? It just fell off. Let's... Let's see, how am I gonna... I'm gonna balance this to stay. That's like a pretty giant joint, and there's a lot of weight in this wing as well, so maybe like this. Oh, maybe it'll go like that. Is that in, is it out? Might end up needing to pin this big wing. We'll see. We got it to stick before, though. So, we'll cross our fingers. What's your choice for gold paint? Retributor gold. Usually over top of Dawnstone. Dawnstone Grey, Retributor gold. That's usually how I do. I'm going to paint some gold here in a minute, actually. The Talons are +1 attack with sweeping and power hit options. Claws will be the go-to. Like I said, I haven't seen the actual rules. I'd like to see the rules, or like the final version of the rules, I guess. I just the game last night with Gillum and Dirty Wizard was ridiculous. Like I made the list, right? Because the list's got 2 ball predators in it. So I was like, this can't be a serious list. Like 2 ball predators. People have been asking for months, like, hey, can you run some ball predators or something like that? And I was like, yeah, you know, like, am I going to run ball predators normally? Never. Or was I going to run them in Armor of Contempt? No, never. And I was like, well, do you know what? Maybe we can run 2 ball predators with Gilliman, and worst case, it'll be a fun to watch battle report. What it actually turned into was, it turned into one of the most fun battle reports that I've filmed in, I don't know, like, it was one of the most fun games I've filmed in forever. Holland is just getting rolled everywhere on the board. Gilliman's buffs are winning the game for me everywhere. He's everywhere. He's just everywhere. This 12-inch bubble is just so easy to get models within range of. So Guilliman's everywhere, giving me all these buffs. And Colin was actually going like, by the end of the game, Colin's like going, "This is overpowered, but Guilliman with Blood Angels is broken." And I was like, I have a GT in a month's time. I have no idea what I'm going. Sorry, I have no idea what list I'm going to take to the GT. But after last night, I'm like, there's a very high chance that that Guilliman list is just getting run. Like, maybe I'll make some tweaks, but honestly, don't, because of Arcs of Omen. My Arcs of Omen book still hasn't come yet. I'm a bit annoyed about that. You gotta run Guilliman. Does he cost 3 CP to take? No, he gives you 3 CP if you take him, so you start on 9 CP. So you get to basically give your other characters warlord traits and shit for free because you're on 9 CP. So you give all your other characters multiple warlord traits and stuff, and then you're like, huh, I still start the game with like 5 CP, which is more CP than I ever start the game with. So it's just like an all-round win to have Guilliman in the army, it seems like. Yes, he costs 300 points, so I mean, I guess you got to deal with that. But I mean, he's got a 4 damage power fist with no -1 to hit, and his aura affects himself because he's still using old rules. So, you know, a 4 damage power fist with 7 attacks, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. You're probably wounding on 2s as well. So he's no slump in combat. His gun's good as well. It's basically he's basically got a rapid fire 3 heavy bolter. And it's strength 6 rather than strength 5. So he's killing infantry like pretty effectively. 2 wound infantries. Like, I think he's killing 2 or 3 of them a turn as well. Blood Angels we're crying out for a character like Guilliman to be in our list, because wow, I had so much fun last night. I really wanted to find another little Blood Angels thing to put on the top of this Dreadnought to just finish him off. If I win the GT with Guilliman, it would be spectacular. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? It would also be a bit ridiculous in that I've been trying to win GTs with Blood Angels for like years now. Let me just move this camera 1 second. I need to go. I'm trying to find a sprue. I've got a bunch of sprues here. I just need to have a quick look. I'm just out of focus for just a second. While I see if I've got another Blood Angels. Oh, come on, this might be one. No. I've got so many sprues. I just keep all the sprues from everything that I ever buy or make, or even when I finish them. I've got hundreds of pieces. I never find the piece that I want, but I've got hundreds of pieces. I'm looking for that little banner bit, you know, the bit that goes on the top of the Sanguinary Guard banner. Feel like, because I've definitely got some unused Sanguinary Guard banners, because I've got one right here, case in point. But I'm just wondering if I've got those little wings that go on top, because if it had that, that would just round out the Dreadnought really nicely. Good evening, Chronosane, how you doing? It's going to be annoying if I've got 2 of the banners and I don't have the top bits though. One more box then we can. I've actually got 3 Sanguinary Guard banners then, but I don't have the top bit. know I've used them on a couple of other models. I used one on my Librarian Dreadnought. I think I used one on my Chapter Master, I guess. I was building a Ball Predator the other night. Maybe there's something in the ball there. I was going to say, is there something in the Ball Predator box that I could use? I don't think so. I guess maybe I did put one on Hellbreak as well, so maybe that's annoying. Still bullshit, so. Right, let me rack my brain for a second. Where else would I possibly have something that could go on the top of a Dreadnought? What else could go on the top of a Dreadnought? Like, I got this little wings thing here. It doesn't, it's kind of too small for this size Dreadnought. It kind of just looks out of place. Or too small. Good night, Lados. I dropped for the the Ball Predators for the Terrax. Yeah, I mean, you could. Those wings actually look like they've glued on now, which is going to be handy. Cool, so I've fixed that. This little... Where have I got something little like that? Where have I got something? What am I adding banners tonight? So this is going to be Gilliman for my tournament. Isn't that the top of the banner? No, I think that's a bit off of a Terminator or something. The bit off the top of the banner is a bit bigger because I've already put one on my Librarian Dreadnought. I was looking at him tonight. Yeah, because look, it's quite a bit bigger. And it would look more on place. So I was thinking of having the Librarian Dreadnought as Gilliman, but he's nowhere near tall enough. I didn't realise Gilliman like towers above the height of a Librarian Dreadnought. But he does. So... You can see I've got the Ball Predator box here. See if there's anything in the Ball Predator box that would go on top. The top of the Sanguinary Guard banner or the top of the Terminator. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would like to find. I don't think I've got one. I've so many bit box. Like, are these Sanguinary Guard boxes empty? Yeah. Okay. You know what? We did take the top off of Hellbrecht's banner, so I wonder if we could use. The skull thing that's supposed to go on the top of Hellbrecht's banner. So we didn't use that on Hellbrecht. Let's see if it would look what it would look like. I mean, it's not a Blood Angels piece. But I don't think it fits. I think it's out of place. Postage from Germany would be wild. Yeah, it would. I think someone won a painting competition in Germany before one of my painting competitions, and they accused me of not sending the model because it took so long to get to Germany. I think we thought it got lost in the post or something like that. I don't think they accused me. I think they were just like, "Did you definitely send it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure I sent it." It just took forever to get in the post. I was gonna say, I've got so many bits boxes. I checked that one. I checked that one. Checked that one. It's the sword that's making them taller. Yeah, the sword's making them like quite a bit taller though, right? The sword's adding like a good, let's say like 2 inches to his height, maybe? 1.5 inches? But I don't want to go to the tournament and have someone say to me like, "You're modelling for advantage." So I would have used Helbreck, but I thought Helbreck was similar size to Guilliman. And I guess he is, until you add Guilliman's 2 inches of sword. Which is a little bit frustrating. Like I said, it's so many bits, but just cannot find that one bit that I need. Or something similar. Anything on the Primaris Blade Guard Ancient you could use? I mean, I do have all the Indomitus pieces. Isn't Guilliman coming in one of the Imperium magazines? I'm not a subscriber to Imperium. I mean, I don't know why I would need to be subscribed because I've got so much everywhere. I've got so many models. What am I subscribing for? I'm gonna do that video. I wanted to make a video over Christmas where like I went through all the stuff that I've got. The Red Achilles is awesome. Thank you, dude. I'm gonna put some paint on it the second I can find something to finish it off. Something to finish it off. I've even got like, look at this. I've got like tracks from a fucking what's a track from like a Baneblade? We've got tracks lying around. I've got everything except that one little piece that I need apparently. I've got so many arms and I've got so many Primaris bodies. I don't know why I would need so many Primaris bodies, but I've got them. That red company box empty as well. Yeah. That's annoying. Last box to look at, I think. Maybe it is. So this is, I've got the Imperium box here. That's the Blade Guard Ancient, I think. Oh, look at this. I've got that super old shitty banner. I don't even know, like that is an old school banner, right? I could put that on top, it would look less small, but I mean it would also look pretty, I think it would look pretty corny, right? I did buy a new box of Sangre Guard recently, dude, but the banner, it went on top of Helbreck. And I don't really want to rip it off the top of Helbreck because I thought the Helbreck conversion I did was pretty cool. I mean, another option is to paint this one now that the wing's glued. He could be Gilliman. Right? I mean, he's definitely tall enough. He's definitely modelling for disadvantage, which is, do you have an old school paper banner? I mean, I probably do have an old school paper banner. I feel like there must be like one box of bits that I haven't found. I don't know where it would be. He's far too big. Yeah, I mean, he's cool. I mean, I put him on the shelf behind me somewhere. Alright, this could be controversial. What about this? It's a bit off the... it's a bit off like the 10-inch sized McFarlane one. I mean, it's a bit low quality. It's probably too big, is it? Building for disadvantage. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to build for disadvantage here. I mean, I could just go back. I guess I've got nothing else. We could go back to just the little one. Then we're only building for a tiny bit of disadvantage. I'm gonna say there is something in this Death Company box. Check this box. What's in here? Oh, it's just a chainsaw and an old token. Oh, when I shook it, oh man, do you remember when the backs of the boxes just looked something like this? Bloody hell. Alright, we don't have one. How annoying. It's fine. We'll do it. Alright, we'll just put this little one back on. Evening. Mongrel, how are you doing tonight? This is going to be in Gilliman. I was unhappy with the size comparison between Helbreck and Gilliman. So I think I need a new tube of super glue actually. I mean, there is super glue in here, it just takes 5 minutes for it to come out. I hate when your models break when you're transporting them, man. It's like the worst thing ever. Probably too much glue on that. Straighten it up a bit. So Gilliman is like 3.5 inches tall. This guy is like 4. So I think that's good. I think I'm happy with that. I don't think anyone can call me out for having a model that's too small if it's like a whole inch taller. Would you consider painting model with red armor, Gilliman? The problem with him is you got like a lot of ultramarine stuff baked into shoulder pads and shit, right? Contrary to popular belief, I don't particularly want to be or like ultramarines. Have you considered the Judici art in the Impulsor with the Blade Guard veterans? I have been considering that, Camille, after... So I ran last night the Blade Guard veterans with the Medic. And like, I think that's pretty good as well. But I did think about using the Judici art. You like the big white one? Yeah, I mean, the big white one is cool, but I mean, he's not very practical. This one's a lot more practical, I guess. Yeah, I've seen some people paint like Gilliman Blood Angels colors, and I've seen some people do amazing jobs. But the cool thing I liked about Helbreck was that I managed to cover all the Black Templar stuff on him. So if I am running like a if I am running Helbrecht, then he basically can be, he looks like he's all Blood Angels. Good evening. Red Nose says, I just got playing done with a match Blood Angels on my 5-man Terminator squad with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. Get 8,000 some Terminators in turn 1. How? Did he just run them straight across the board at you? But nice on, right on. I mean, I ran Thunderhammer Terminators last night, dude, and I think they're good now. I mean, I think they're good before, but see if you can get Quake Bolts. Quake Bolts is really good with them as well. Give them +1 to hit, and then you use Fury of the first, and then you have Thunderhammers hitting on 2s, which is really nice. I love it when your Thunderhammers hit on 2s, especially if you've got some sort of rerolls. So you're like hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s or something, like that's just nice, isn't it? Alright, I'm just going to slap some colours on this to start with, and we'll see where we go. I have a giant synthetic brush that I've been using for ages, so it's like my go-to base colour brush. If anyone's not used the synthetic GW brushes, I don't know if I recommend them, but I guess if you've got like, this must be like this is a shade medium. It's quite a big head, and it's been absolutely fine for like just slapping on colours, right? Oh right, in turn 3 they deep striked in. Alright, yeah, I was thinking you killed, when you said, I thought you meant you killed them in turn 1, I was going to be like, okay. There's a dead Marine on Gilliman's base, or this Dreadnought's base. I feel like it can't be a Blood Angels, because Blood Angels, we don't really die, do we? Two squads of Terminators, Thunderhammer, Storm Shield, 1 squad of Blade Guard veterans and Impulsor with the Judiciar is a really scary combat. Well, it's pretty much exactly what I ran last night, wasn't it? I ran 2 squads of Terminators, Thunderhammers, Storm Shields. I put 2 Lightning Claw models in each squad of the Terminators, just because you never know if you're going to be fighting into 1 damage enemies, and if you are, having those Lightning Claws sure does help. And then I ran the Blade Guard veterans with the Medic. But I made the Medic Rights of War, so I guess if I wasn't doing the Rights of War Medic, maybe I would have like Rights of War Judiciar. And I think both are pretty cool units. You could definitely make both pretty useful in your army, right? So yeah, I made a list with Gilliman thinking it would just be fun. It would just be for one-off, because it's something we can do now, and let me just take it to one of our battle reports and have a bit of fun with it. And then after the game I was like, it actually given me a really hard decision now. I'm like, do I just spend the next month refining my list with Gilliman and take that to the GT and just roll the dice to a certain extent? Because Gilliman shores up like a lot of the weaknesses Blood Angels have. Hello Caleb. I'm using the same brush right now to slap some red on my Blade Guard right on. Thanks for saying hi, by the way. I'm not sure we've met before, Caleb. It's always nice to see new people's names in the chat. It is a new month. So I have updated my member goal. I see someone's already come in with and become a member so far already, which is super appreciated. But if anyone hasn't been a member of the channel before, we do have a private Discord you can get access into if you're a channel member. So, and you know what? Even if you can't afford to become a channel member, that's fine too. If you click the join button underneath the videos, you can always turn on gifted subs, which means if someone else is kind enough to do some gifted subs, it means you have a chance of getting a gifted sub and becoming a channel member, and as such, getting into our private Discord, etc, etc. So, I have a new video coming out tomorrow as well. Always have a tactics video coming out on Fridays, and it's a fun one. I think it's the season where wacky lists are going to be fun. And before I'd ran Gilliman, as in like before last night, because I usually film my tactics video earlier in the week. I usually make my tactics video, like I usually make like the scripts and stuff on a Monday night, and then I film it on the Tuesday night, and then I play 40k on the Wednesday night, and then I sometimes do a podcast episode on the Thursday night. I already filmed like my tactics video this week, and it's coming out tomorrow, and it was in the same sort of vein. It was like, it's a wacky season. You gotta try and have fun. If you're trying to be too serious this season, maybe you could get a bit frustrated. So try and run something new, try and run some older models, try things out, and aim to have fun. And I'd made this video, and I really think that when you see tomorrow's video... Oh, Margot, thank you, coming in with 5 gifted subs. Oh, I really do appreciate it, Margot. I don't know why it didn't pop up on my stream yet that you did that. Are my alerts not working? Views and alerts. I mean, they're turned on. It's maybe lagging. I see alerts in YouTube. Thank you so much for that, Margot. Appreciate it. What do you think of a new Sangri Priest model this year? Let me finish my train of thought and I'll answer. Oh, there it goes. It is lagging. The stream alerts sometimes lag a few minutes behind the chat. I appreciate the 5 gifted subs so much. Thank you, dude. I mean, you just smashed, like, my membership goal was for February is like 5 new members, so it's like the first, or it's like the second, so thank you. So yeah, I was making this video, and when I was making tomorrow's video, I was thinking to myself, like, this is actually going to be a really fun, interesting tactic, and I think I'm probably going to do it, and it might be the tactic I take to the GT. So I was thinking about the tactic that I've got coming out in tomorrow's video and thinking this is probably going to be what I want to run to the GT, and this will be fun, not too serious, but it's got a chance, and it's got a decent chance if it's used right. And then all of a sudden I run Gilliman for a bit of fun, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. Thoughts on Lionel Johnson coming back? Let me answer the other question. And thank you again for all these gifted subs coming in. Do appreciate it. I lost my question. Thank you so much for subscribing, dude. I appreciate it. Hold on, where's this question? It's really annoying that Templars can't take Gilliman. Why can't Templars take Gilliman? Arcs of Omen says that Marines can take a Primarch now? I mean, what? Is there some specific rule that I don't know of that Templars can't take him? I think the FAQ, I mean, it said you could include a Primarch unit in a Arcs of Omen detachment. A new Sangri Priest model is... There's a rumour that there's going to be an entire Blood Angels refresh. And what that means, I think, would be like new Dante, possibly new Primaris units. The problem is no one knows when that rumoured refresh is or what's actually coming in the refresh. So what's the chances of a new Sangri Priest? I mean, I'm not qualified to answer, I have no idea. There's rumours, I've heard rumours of a Blood Angels refresh. The rumours have come from Valrak, typically. And if you go back like 6 months, Valrak has like nailed everything that's new. He's talked about everything that's new. Hey Caleb, thank you so much for coming to remember. He's talked about everything that's new before it's been released or whatnot. Like, Valrak has somebody on the inside, I guess. He's got an inside man who knows a lot about the upcoming schedule. Like, he knows so much. because he's right like all the time, I guess. So if Valrak mentioned that there's going to be a Blood Angels re-release or a new, whatever you would call it, like a refresh, then I can probably say with confidence there's a refresh. What's in that refresh, nobody knows, I guess, at the moment. Well, I think we know that it's Dante. Like, that's what Valrak said again. He said that I think we are getting definitely a refresh on Dante. What other characters are getting a refresh yet? I don't know. Could the Sangori Priest be one of them? I think Games Workshop's goal, and I could be off base with this, I think their goal is to get all the Marines to Primaris. Maybe not like tactical squads might always be firstborn, right? But like all the characters. Like, look at the Black Templars. Grimaldus went Primaris, Helbrecht went Primaris, I think the third one went Primaris. If they can get them to Primaris, they're going to want to do that, because it means it's twofold, right? They get the new and updated rules so they look cooler, and then it means that all the... I mean, I've got 11,000 subscribers, so if you say that there's 11,000 people that like Blood Angels, they can sell 11,000 Dantes at 25 bucks a head, or however much they charge for Dante. It's a lot of money, right? Like, 11,000 times 25 is... I was going to say it's like $250,000, over $250,000? Like, there's a lot of money for one model, so, I think I'm doing that math right. Add a 0 because it's times 10. I was going to say, maybe I'll do this guy's cloak. I'm trying to decide if I want to do some of his armor gold. I feel like I do want to do some of his armor gold, I just don't know what yet. It would be nice to get a new Sangre Ancient model. Yeah, so I mean, all the models could potentially be going Primaris. I have a chat missing again. Oh, thank you. It's funny how that works. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. Restream chat. Where the hell is it? There we go. Should be able to see the chat better now. Sorry, guys. Valrak says there's going to be 2 new big models, Dante and Azrael, but Valrak also said there's going to be a new Angels of Death book that's going to focus on Blood Angels and Dark Angels. And there's also rumours that there's like a, what is it, a Tyranid invasion, or a Tyranid... invasion's the wrong word. There's like a... Do you know what? As much as I think I might want to paint this guy gold, if I paint him gold, is he going to be too close to Custodes? Would it be better to keep him red? I think it might be better to keep him red and then paint his cloak gold. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because, I mean, if I paint him gold, he's just going to look like a Custodes Dreadnought. And I don't want him to look like a Custodes Dreadnought. Yeah, so there's rumours that there's a Tyranid, like the 9th edition starter set, or whatever you want to call it, is going to be based around Tyranids, right? And if the 9th edition, sorry, the 9th edition, the 10th edition starter set is going to be based around Tyranids. Someone asked me a question about another model, and I looked back in the chat and I can't see it. Ask it again, sorry. I think I was in the middle of another train of thought when you asked it. And I'll answer it, I'm sorry. Yeah, if there is a new Tyranids release, or if the 10th edition starter box is Tyranids versus Marines, then it does lean itself towards Blood Angels being the army that they fought because of all the devastation of Baal / Darkness in the Blood storyline that was going on there, with Guilliman coming along to Baal and basically reinforcing with the Primaris models. So there is scope for that to be a thing. But it's super hard. Like, you know, I don't work at Games Workshop. I don't know anybody that works in any of the release sections of Games Workshop. So as far as like getting a handle on the new models, I find out about it at the same time as all of you guys, right? And typically when I find out about stuff like from Warhammer community, I'll like dive into it as soon as I can, and I'll make videos about it, and we'll talk about like as soon as the full rules for the Brutalis are released, like I'll make a video on like the Brutalis, I'll compare it to the Redemptor, and we can have a good chinwag, I guess, about like what's better and why and how you should field them. But I'll make the odd video about rumors, but I don't make very much rumor content. I don't mind making rumor content. I just don't know if it's very well, it's not what my channel's built on, right? My channel's built on like winning Warhammer games, and yeah, sometimes I can get excited and want to make a rumor video same as everybody else, but I guess my thoughts on things are just a bit different. I think GW should finally change the rule that Primaris can use drop pods. I think that there's a rumor as well that the Firstborn versus Primaris nonsense is going to go away. So basically, like, Primaris units can go in Firstborn transports and vice versa. And I think that's one of the things that honestly excited me a lot, because I'm very much of the opinion that the fact that Firstborn models can't go in Firstborn in Primaris transports is generally just like a limiting option that doesn't really add any real gameplay or anything meaningful. It just means that, like, you can't take this because... And I guess they were worried about it being overpowered. Heads up, Marines do not have a good win rate and are not overpowered. Maybe unless you're Iron Hands, so maybe it's not a problem. Is this a conversion of sometimes, says TT? This is a Dreadnought, a Custodes Venator Dreadnought, which is the one with the spear and the fist. I have done a bit of conversion work on this arm, right? Because this is not, like, the Custodes arm for this Dreadnought is like an arm with like a hand. I chopped it off here and put on like a power fist from like a Firstborn Dreadnought and stuck like a bolter to it. So this is like a Custodes arm down to sort of the wrist, and then it's like a Firstborn Dreadnought hand on here. So this is a bit of a conversion. He was going to be like custom Librarian Dreadnought. I guess for now he's actually going to be a proxy for Rebooty Guilliman, because Guilliman has a cool bolter. Well, here it is. Guilliman has a really nasty power fist. Well, here it is. And Guilliman has the Emperor's Sword. Well, I mean, technically this is a spear, but we could call it an Emperor's Sword, right? Felix says the keyword Primaris is going to be dropped in 10th edition. That's the rumour that I've heard, Felix, and I think that would just be good for Marines. I can't see any downside to it. I think it will open up some new and interesting combos, and I think it would just instantly probably make Marines more competitive. But not that much more competitive. Like, it's not going to be mind-blowingly different if you could put Terminators in like a Repulsor or Impulsor, or you could I don't know, put Blade Guard veterans in a Rhino or something. It's not gonna drastically change things, but it's gonna give them a little bit more variability or flexibility or options, and I think that's only a good thing, because Marines have been languishing a bit this edition, in my opinion. We haven't seen any Marine army consistently above like a 50% win rate, probably in like 2 years. Like, I can't remember the last Marine army that was consistently above 50%. Oh, do you know what it probably was? It was probably Black Templars, because there was a small while after the Black Templars got released where they were winning a lot of events, and that was when Redemptor Dreadnoughts were like, I don't know, 20 points cheaper than they are now, maybe. And because I think they were 170, I think they got put up in price just because Black Templars players were going like I think, wasn't it like LVO where like the top table was Orcs against Black Templar? Or no, I think it was Admech against Black Templars, and Admech had like a load of flyers, and Black Templars just had like a load of Redemptor Dreadnoughts and a load of Contemptor Dreadnoughts. And this was back when like Volcons were good, so it's like you're going back like 15 months or something. And that was like one of the top lists. Red Custodes, and this is going to be a proxy for Guilliman Inks. Good evening, by the way. So this will be my Guilliman, because I was using Helbreck to be Guilliman, but Helbreck's actually quite a bit shorter than Guilliman, and I didn't realise that when I was using him. It was only after the game last night, Colin was like, if you want to take that to a tournament, you're probably going to need to get a bigger model, because Helbreck's quite a bit smaller than Guilliman. And I was like, really? And then I got someone to take a, because I don't own Guilliman, got someone to take a photo, and Guilliman's sword makes him like almost like 3.5 inches tall, and Helbrecht's not even 3 inches. So there could be a question mark about, like, if I was using Helbrecht to represent Guilliman at an event, if that's modelling for advantage. I mean, potentially it is, right? So I'll go back to my old staple, which is modelling for disadvantage. So here is a Dreadnought, Custodes Venator that's been converted into basically like a Librarian Dreadnought with a Power Fist on one hand, and he is a good... He's a good 4 inches tall, so he's a good half inch taller than Guilliman. He's got a cape on him as well. He kind of has Guilliman's weapon loadout, which I guess is just pure luck because he was made... Well, he was made in my old house, so at least a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago, probably 2 years ago at this point. So it's pure luck that he's got these weapon options, but sometimes you can get lucky when you make models and stick them and just say, fuck it, I'm making this. I haven't magnetized it and I hope it's going to work out. This is one of those times. Doesn't happen that often. One of the shittiest things about playing Marines is Primaris transports. That is very true. And also, drop pods not being allowed to have any Primaris in them is a little bit sad, isn't it? So yeah, this is a... If you look underneath on this is pretty ugly under there, right? Like, because I just hacked off this guy's hand to try and like get a Power Fist onto it, because that's what Librarian Dreadnought has, right? But that's conveniently also what Guilliman has. I'll maybe give him a gold helmet actually, so I'm not going to paint any more red onto his helmet. Yeah, that's what I'll do. My favourite LVO list was a Space Wolf player who brought 30 Woven and a Mastodon. How did he get on? But that, just saying that now, that sounds like that would be my favourite list as well. Can all 30 go in the Mastodon? I guess they probably can, right? 30 Woven and a Mastodon. How many more points has he got left over? It can't have been a whole lot. I don't know how many points a Woven is with the new points update. I mean, I guess he's crossing his fingers that the Mastodon doesn't get destroyed by the enemy in turn 1, right? Have you talked about the Blood Angels win in Vegas? Not really. There's two ways to look at the Blood Angels win in Vegas. I mean, like, the win, like, is a very impressive thing to win a tournament like that with Blood Angels, because I don't think that Blood Angels were the strongest by any means. I would say that going into LVO, even though they still had Armor of Contempt and stuff, like, I wouldn't rate them above like B tier in terms of like overall performance or overall strength. So it's a very impressive win, but it's a win on the old rules, so none of it really carries over anymore, unfortunately. And in those old rules, in the Armor of Contempt rules, everybody who was playing competitive lists for Blood Angels was running basically 3 Sanguinary Guard and 3 Death Company. And I do a weekly show every week where we talk over like army lists and we talk over how to improve them for Blood Angels players. And with everybody, like, and I say everybody, it wasn't everybody, but it was like 90% of people were going like 3 Death Company, 3 Sangard, or like there was 5% variance in every list. Every list was the same. And honestly, it was kind of bumming me out a little bit about the army show, because it was like no one was really submitting anything with anything variance. It was just like all the same lists. And it's a very high skill list to have to play, right? Like, if you're a new player and you run 3 squads of Sanguinary Guard and 3 squads of Death Company, and you're not experienced at using the table and getting the best out of your consolidations and stacking auras and all that, like, it's a very high skill list to play, and even harder if you're playing at the top tables of tournaments where people who you'll be playing against are very good at moving and positioning their troops. So, I mean, it was a great win, LVO, but unfortunately not too much of it stacks up now, because with Armor of Contempt being gone, it's just completely different. Like, we lost so much survivability. I personally don't think that 3 Death Company list is probably viable anymore. Maybe But if it is viable, it's going to be highly terrain dependent. You're going to have to be playing on a table with a lot of terrain. If you're on a really weak table with not much terrain, you're going to struggle. And then, yeah, I think it was great that Blood Angels won, but I at the same time, it was a very, I don't want to say it was a boring season for Blood Angels, but it was a season where everybody that was competitive had figured out the way to be the most competitive is to run 3 squads of Sandguard and 3 squads of Death Company, and to hell with everything else. You could almost just give up everything else just to have that, and to just use like fast moving characters with it. And it was a weird season for me, because a few people that were watching the Army List show as well were saying the same thing. They're like, the Army List show is boring because every list is the same. And I was like, well, I mean, I don't make the lists, right? I'm reviewing the community submitted lists, but everybody's submitting the same list because everybody's figured out that this is the best way to get the most bang for your buck or something, right? So we saw list after list after list that was just like 3 Death Company, 3 Sandguard, or some variant of that, 80% similar lists. And most of the people submitting lists to the show are people submitting lists because they're wanting to be competitive. They're wanting me to look at it from a competitive standpoint. What model do you want next? Probably the Brutalis Dreadnought. I mean, I know that it's not available yet, but it'll be available soon, right? I don't think I care too much about the missile troops. I think I would like a few Brutalis Dreadnoughts, but I don't know if I'm willing to... I don't know if I'm willing to buy like 3 of them. I guess we'll see how competitive they actually are when we see the full stat profile. But I mean, I already got 3 Redemptors, and I like painting different things. Sometimes I like painting the same squad again, right? Like I just finished a squad of Firstborn Terminators, and I was looking at the second squad I had of Firstborn Terminators, and I was like, oh, I really enjoyed painting those Firstborn Terminators, and they look awesome. So I wanted to paint another squad of them, but I've painted 3 Redemptors now. Once you've painted like 5 Dreadnoughts, you generally feel like you've painted every variant of Dreadnoughts, you know. I mean, I'm painting a Dreadnought right now. It's very simple. What you do, you'll do all the upper armor panels red, and you'll do all the lower armor panels like grey to give them sort of metallic innards. I mean, there's not a whole lot to print, or there's not a whole lot you can do, I guess, painting Dreadnoughts maybe. But yeah, I mean, I like the sound of the Brutalis, and I think the rules are going to be really good for Blood Angels. So, Jack said the train was to his advantage in the game, or one of the streams I watched. The train on the final table, I watched his game against, not the final, I guess it would have been the semi-final. I think the game he played Harlequins, and like in one of the turns, it was like turn 3 or something, every single Blood Angels model was on an obscuring piece of terrain. And I was like, wow, I mean, like, if you're at an event and you know there's going to be a lot of terrain and you have that advantage and you can have your entire army obscured, then you're going to have a good game, right? But I heard on the lower tables, there was also like a blog post came out that like on the lower tables, some of the people were having to play with barely any terrain or no obscuring terrain, and it was a bit... All I know is the blog that I read, it sounded like... So it was going from one extreme to the other. And I genuinely hate taking lists to events that are going to be terrain dependent, because I don't always go to the biggest events. Like, I go to smaller local events, and sometimes when you're going to those smaller, more local events, the terrain can be all over the place. Like, you can just go on a map where like all the objectives are out in the open. There's no terrain, there's no cover on this terrain, and if you play a melee army that's not durable like Blood Angels are, and you play into that, then you're gonna have a bad time, right? So yeah, tough one. They control the deployment phase, you have to respect the turn 1 charge. I mean, that's why you take the Death Company with Thunderhammers. I genuinely recommend, if you're not running Death Company with Thunderhammers, you probably should, right? Because they're just so useful. They always trade. Like, they literally always trade. So yeah, I tend to always have the squad of like, what is it? 5 Death Company with 4 with Thunderhammers, and I just always, I guess like I just always try and trade them, and I think most of the time they trade. The Harlequin against the British guy, he killed like 6 transports in turn 1. I didn't see that game. But yeah, I mean, if you lose 6 transports in turn 1, that's pretty bad. I feel like the transport should probably have been obscured better, but I mean, it can come down. Terrain plays such an important part in the game, right? And that's the problem. Like, different events do different terrain, and it's such an integral part of 40k. It's hard to it's hard to just rock up to an event. Or I find it hard to build a list that's going to be like, right, if the terrain is good, I win this event. If the terrain is bad, I do nothing. I would rather just try and build something that can adapt. But maybe I approach it the wrong way. Like, if Blood Angels were at LVO and they came up on terrain with no obscuring cover, then, I mean, that's an instant loss. We can't win a game without obscuring cover. And I saw some people having to play games on terrain with no obscuring cover, which is madness. I played Tau at one of the events that I was at with like, I want to say like 7 pieces of obscuring cover on the board, and like I got shot off the table. It wasn't even close. I think at the end of the game I had like 3 models left, like 2 Incursors and a Sanguinary Priest, and I think he had basically his whole army. I mean, yeah, there was no way. It was abandoned sanctuaries as well, so there's no way I can put any pressure on him. So I can't get across the board to deep strike him, or alpha strike him. Sorry, and there's just no obscuring cover anywhere in the middle of the board. So sometimes that happens. You just got to do what you can do, right? I'm gonna break that Tau game down. Actually, I've got all the photographs for it, so I'll break it down in the next couple of weeks. It was one of the hardest games of my life. Where it was just like, alright, play Tau when you're 24 inches away from them and there's like 1 piece of cover between you and them. Brick just bought 20 new models. Hey Brick, how you doing? I almost bought Guilliman today, but now this is my new Guilliman. I think I'm happier with this anyway than I would be if I'd bought Guilliman. Greetings, Island. This is good. Yeah, this has to be Guilliman because Helbrecht's too small. Apparently, I didn't realize Helbrecht was too small, Highland. But it's fine. I mean, I'm gonna finish Helbrecht and his entourage of I don't know what you call his entourage. His entourage of stuff. Should play your Strauss with Bobby G. The Strauss isn't. I mean, it's too expensive to field with a 300-point Primarch anyway. But the problem with the Strauss is like some armies are just very good at killing big toughness 8 vehicles, I guess. And it can't be obscured, right? So like they're always going to see it. They're always going to be able to shoot it. It's decent. It's definitely decent, but I'm not sure I think the list with Bobby G that I ran last night is more competitive than an Astreus. And that list's got 2 Bob Ridders in it, which is pretty cool. Who would have thought that we thought a list with Bob Ridders in it was going to be competitive? I mean, it rocked the Chaos Demons. I need to get some more games in then, you know, like to try it out against a few more armies and probably. I think there's probably an iteration to be made on it, but I'd like to lose some games before I make the iteration, if that makes sense. £110 points is just so cheap. Yeah, I mean, 110 points is cheap. I think that the fact that I was able to reroll 1s for basically the entire game on the Ball Predators helped a ton as well. I think they're probably pretty average without the reroll ones, but the reroll ones maybe just elevated them like up to the next level where I was like, damn, these things are actually quite good now. Evening, Steve. How you doing? Steven just bought an Astraeus. He's building it at the weekend. Nice. It's a cool model, dude. It's also a cool model to play. I mean, I ran it this year I ran it in 2022 to an RTT. I think you can run it to an RTT. I think it's fine. I'm not sure you'll win a GT with it, but I was close. Could have won the RTT with it. One game away, probably. How did the Predators themselves do? Yeah, I mean they killed stuff every turn. They did wounds every turn. Neither of them died, so I mean he didn't target them. But I would say their firepower was like, I mean it's not great, but you're only spending 100 points on them. They're gonna kill a few models every turn. It sure did help that it got to reroll all the ones though. Like it helped tons getting to reroll ones on everything. Yeah. Oh, Rabute he's gone up in my book. I thought he was okay. Now I think, I don't know, I quite like Rabute. I mean, I've played against him before and I know how much of a monster he is, and you know, when he makes charges, yeah, one of the turns I fluffed his charge, or I fluffed his damage roll, but in a couple of turns, like, his damage was just on point, and I was just like, damn. You know, he's got 4 damage power fist, essentially, with no -1 to hit. It's hard to complain about that, right? So yeah, I've got a fun video going out tomorrow. It'll be at the sort of standard lunchtime release that I do on the Fridays. So if you're looking for like 20-minute interesting video about a wacky combo you could try in the new edition, then I got you covered for tomorrow. I think this really is going to be the season of wacky stuff. If Gilliman being in a list and telling me that this is one of the strongest Blood Angels lists I've had in a while isn't wacky, then I don't know what is. I mean, Highland Phoenix was in the chat last night and he was saying, like, I even missed a couple of free rerolls and stuff that I had on like my chapter master and stuff. I was so far ahead of Colin with Gilliman in the list. It was just like I missed a couple of rules. First time I played the list though, so of course, like, first time you're playing stuff, you do sometimes miss a rule or two. So first time I'd played that exact list, but yeah, I just felt so far ahead of him. Like at the end of the game, I was just trying to kill every single model he had on the table, and I left his Greater Demon with 2 wounds, and I left like 4 bases of Nurglings. But I still had my whole fucking army. Like I'd lost. He took no prisoners, and he scored 4 points. He killed 41 wounds of stuff the entire game. That was it. So he killed 41 points of stuff and an impulsor. That was all he killed the entire game. So it was like 15 points from Blade Guard, like 10 points from 2 Death Company, and then like he killed like 3 more Sanguinary Guard. Maybe I think it was maybe 4 Sanguinary Guard. So I think he would have had 43, which is still just 4 points. I think we missed 2 points, but that's fine. I think I got confused because I think the reason we missed the 2 is because I rezzed one on Sanguinary Guard and that confused things. Could get a Reaper and a Landspeeder Tornado for the same points as 2 balls, but I don't think that's better. I don't know why you think the Reaper is better than the Battle Predator for the points. Does the Battle Predator move further than the Reaper as well? What's the movement on a Reaper? I think my issue with the Reaper is just that it's all 1 damage weapons. But I mean, the only times I've seen the Reaper on the battlefield is when they were played by Iron Hands, and Iron Hands are probably the strongest faction to use the Reapers because they get rerolls 1s, right, to hit, and they get an extra point of AP on like most of the guns, or at least on the big cannon. And it did no damage when the Iron Hands had it, so it was like, oh, it just felt like Reapers. I don't know why, it just felt like they don't do any damage. And it felt like they don't do any damage for Iron Hands. But then maybe, I was going to say, maybe it comes down to the fact that I could reroll 1s on the Battle Predators that were making them feel decent, but I guess when I played against the Iron Hands and they had 2 Reapers, the Reapers were like the least of my problems. I didn't have any problems with them. I've got a Reaper. I don't know, man. I just don't think it's good. I think I prefer the Battle Predator. Shots, toughness, grav. Yeah, but heavy bolters are really good at killing Marines now. Or heavy bolters are really good at killing 2-wound infantry, you know? Like, I just think Tempest bolters versus heavy bolters. I'd much rather have heavy bolters, I think. I don't know, I mean, if I play Andrew next week and he actually brings his Iron Hands, he'll probably run like 2 Gladiator Reapers, so you'll be able to see them in action. But they were super underwhelming when he used them before. Like, they were so underwhelming, I was like, wow, I'm glad I didn't took a Reaper. How about Kratos with all Volkite? So the Kratos is an interesting one, and if you have all the Volkite on the Kratos, it's similar in power to like 2 Relic Contemptors. And I guess the reason that people don't take Relic Contemptors is the 1 CP cost. I mean, I guess you could offset that 1 CP cost by taking Guilliman, and that would also mean that the Relic Contemptors could reroll hits and stuff, so it wouldn't be all bad, but the problem with the Kratos is 18 wounds, right? So it can't ever be obscured. So if you go second and you're up against an army that's like Iron Hands and they've got a shitload of multi-metas, then it doesn't matter where your Kratos is, it's not obscured, and they will probably... I mean, 18 wounds with no invulnerable save is definitely killable in a single turn for our army like Iron Hands, because they'll be -5. So you basically, even though you've got a 2-up save, you're not going to get to roll a save against their multi-metas. So you'll drop down like a squad of multi-meta guys, 6 multi-metas hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. The other one's hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. So expect, I don't know, like 7 or 8 multi-melta hits, they'll wound you on 4s. So expect like, I don't know, 4 go through, so he's just rolling 4d6 damage. And if he's got within 12 inches, then it's +2. So if he's got within 12 inches, it's 8 damage. And then if his 4d6 is more than 10, you just lost your Kratos in turn 1 and you get nothing out of it. And remember, you can't be obscured. So he could drop his drop pod behind cover, so you couldn't even shoot back. All his models are invisible to you, but they can all shoot the Kratos because it's all over 18 wounds. So, on paper, like survivability and stuff, the Kratos doesn't seem too bad. In reality, I think a Kratos is like 320 points. I'm not sure they put it down. I'm not sure I'm dropping it. Mike says he's drinking Highlands Kool-Aid, 24 main gun shots. Sure, but I mean, if you've got 2 Battle Predators, you're getting 24 main gun shots as well. So, 2 Reapers is 300 points. Is that fittable in your list? 2 Battle Predators is 220 points. Is that fittable in your list? Because, like, my list, I wanted the 6 elites, right? I had 3 I had 3 fast-moving elites. So I had 2 Death Company with hammers, and I had a Sanguinary Guard with Infernal Pistols, and then I had what else did I have? I had 2 squads of Terminators and a squad of Blade Guard. So I mean that's a lot of points, right? 2 squads of Terminators is 330. 2 squads of Death Company with hammers is another 2. I think it might be 155 a squad, so it's like 310. Sanguinary Guard. So you're up to about like almost 800 points. Then you put the Blade Guard in there. So basically like 950 points for the 6 elites. So I guess the question is, can you afford Ball Predator when you've spent 900 points on elites? Bear in mind you're going to need characters. You might need some transports. You might need a whirlwind. I don't know. I mean, have you bought Gladiator Reapers, Highland Phoenix? Have you been running them? Have you actually ran them in games and been like, wow, these Reapers are really good? Like, is that a thing that you've been doing? I feel like it's not, but I could be totally off base. John's playing the Kratos with all Volkite right now. I mean, I guess you've got quite a bit of range on that, so when you're deploying the Kratos, just make sure you deploy it way the fuck back so it can't be taken off. The thing about the Reaper is any -1 target will cry. Well, the -1 targets are going to be I was going to say, your -1 target's going to be crying that hard because -1 targets are surely going to be typically higher toughness, so you're not going to be wounding very effectively, right? Tornadoes are really good. Tornadoes are better. I don't know if I'd say they're really good. What do you think makes them really good? Just the new points cost? I mean, the thing that changed with land speeders, I suppose, is land speeders always tended to die on the fight back, even with Armor of Contempt. You know, if someone targets the land speeder's typically dead, I feel like. So I could understand if you think land speeders are stronger now because they have a bit more guns and they die anyway when someone shoots them. So I can understand that for sure. I think you can definitely commit a bit more firepower with Bobby G. I really like the Terminators with re-rolling on the 7-inch deep strike charge though, right? With Bobby G, that was like so clutch. I think I actually failed a charge and re-rolled it into 7, so normally that would be a failed charge, but with Bobby G it was +1, so it was a pass charge, which was nice. Has anyone tried the Void Shield Generator before? Andrew's had one and he's used it on his Tau. I mean, it's similar to the Psychic Fortress, I guess. Dedicating 440 points to Daka and 300 for Gilliman and 745 points to make Orc jealous of even more Daka. 2 Reapers, Tornadoes, Bobby G. Don't know why I can't get on board with the Tornadoes. Compare me the bolters, the side bolters for the Tornado. Sorry. Compare me the side bolters on the Reaper compared to the side bolters on the Ball Predator, right? The Ball Predator gets 6, strength 5 -1, 2 damage. So total is like 12 damage. I think the Tempest bolters are 4 shots each. So you get 16 shots. You're only strength 4, right? And are you any AP on those side weapons? The speeders are fast and have decent firepower for how fast they are. Yeah, I mean, I think the speeders have benefited because, like I said, I think the speeders always died when they got targeted anyway. So now if they now essentially if if they have more firepower for the same cost, then I think the speeders are probably better, or I think we see that as an upgrade, right? Alright, it's 10 to midnight. I have work in the morning, so I will be peacing out here very shortly. If you've got any last questions, I've just finished this commission. Well, I say I've just finished this commission. I commissioned Mike in November to do me an Ironclad Dreadnought, a Vindicator Laser Destroyer, and there's one other thing. Ironclad Dreadnought, Vindicator Laser Destroyer, and Terrax Siege Drill, right? So like I've got those things coming. Mike was the guy that did the last Gladiator for me, where he magnetized everything, so I can run the Gladiator in any of the configurations, like the Lancer, the what were the other one? The Valiant or the Reaper. I mean, I'm not against trying it again, like trying a Reaper plus a Baal Predator, because I only have one Reaper at the moment. But I feel like 40 more points for a Reaper, right? Here's the thing, right? Like, the Votann killed the Reaper. So I ran a Valiant into the Votann before, and they killed it in one turn without even trying. So if the Votann can kill a Reaper in one turn without even trying. When I say they killed it without even trying, they killed it with like one of their shitty buggies, whatever it's called, the Sagatars. So one Sagatar from full wounds killed my Reaper without even trying, and that was with Armor of Contempt. So I think the reason that I think probably Baal Predators are stronger is possibly the same reason as what we're seeing like Mike. Sorry, not Mike. John saying that like like he thinks tornadoes are really strong now. Was it John that said the tornadoes are really strong? I feel it was, but maybe I got confused. Or was it Jim said that the speeder's really strong? So like, if the Votann can kill your Reaper in one turn with like one of their models, so like their 100-point transport can kill the Reaper in one turn, then are you not just better taking the cheaper Baal Predator and saying, if you're going to kill something, then kill my cheaper Baal Predator, and it's less for me to lose. And I don't. That's kind of I think that's why I look at it that way, because I wasn't expecting, like, in the game against the demons, both Baal Predators survived till the end of the game and they killed stuff every turn. I wasn't expecting the Baal Predators to survive through, like, I was honestly expecting like one of them to die turn one, and at the start of the game I was maybe even expecting both of them to die before they got to shoot, because that's usually what happens when you take a model to try out, right? So the fact that they didn't, I guess, was good, but I wasn't expecting the Baal Predators to do anything. So I feel like when people target Space Marine armor with no invulnerable save, if you're target with multi-metas, or even like las cannons, D3+3 las cannons from those chicken custody walkers or something, a Baal Predator is literally no less survivable than a Reaper. So if we can agree on that, then for me it feels like the Baal Predator is the better choice. Steve's having some good fun with Repulsor Executioner. I think if you ran the Psychic Fortress Librarian to give yourself a psychic bubble of 5-up invulnerable save, then I could understand why you think that like a repulsor could be viable or something like that. Your list was good this week, says Highland. Oh, thanks, Highland. It started as a bit of a joke list, but it turned out it was actually pretty good. You're right. Have I thought about having a tournament, invite members from the Brotherhood? Maybe at some point. Maybe when my kids are a bit older. At the moment I barely have any time. I can't even make all the videos I want to make for YouTube because of the kids, man. There's a lot of strength 8 anti-tank out there. I know, but I feel like... I mean, maybe Votan's a bad example, but Votan will just auto-wound you anyway, right? So it won't even matter what your toughness is. John says, do I really need the captain on the bike? This week, the captain on the bike was running Quake Bolts and Gift of Foresight. So basically, I can almost guarantee that I always have +1 to hit on any target 24 inches away from my captain. Stop making kids, John. Yeah, I'm done. 2 kids is plenty for me. Honestly, I'm done. I'm not making any more kids, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, what did I say? 24 inches away from my captain, I can make them +1 to hit. Combined with Gilliman's rerolls to 1s, it means that, like, normally, like, here's why my list was so strong this week. Normally, like, I'd have a squad of Blade Guard in the Impulsor. The Blade Guard would come out the Impulsor, they would charge something, they'd be hitting on 3s. So the Blade Guard have 20 attacks, but you drop about 5 of them because you're hitting on 3s. Well, this week, whatever they were going to target, I've shot with a 24-inch away Quake Bolt, so they're +1 to hit, so they're hitting on 2s, and then they're within 12 inches of Gilliman, so they're re-rolling 1s. So all of a sudden, you just take your Blade Guard veterans and you say, well, you guys just got a 33% damage buff, because you're hitting every time now. And that was kind of how the game went, where it was like every time I have to make a critical fight, I'm +1 to hit and I'm re-rolling 1s. And remember, normally our characters don't get any rerolls, right? Like, yes, you can put Chapter Master rerolls down on like a character, but beyond that, you're not getting any rerolls on your characters, right? Well, Gilliman's giving all your characters rerolls. So your Chapter Master with his Thunderhammer is getting rerolls. Even if he gave his rerolls to Death Company, you know, every single thing army-wide is getting rerolls because of Gilliman. Brian says, always give Quake Motes my Eliminators. I'm thinking of trying the Captain combo. It sounds great. Yeah, I mean, it's 100%. Well, statistically, Ryan, it's a 97% chance if you give Quake Bolts to your Captain with Gift of Foresight. You basically, you're hitting on 2s rerolling. I do have an affiliate code for Element Games. Yes, I do. It's in the video description below. Or if you click on the actual, underneath the video where it says BA Commander, you click that and come through to the YouTube channel. In the very top right hand corner, there's a link to the Element Games as well. You just click through there, like you click on the little link to Element, it takes you straight through and you use my affiliate code. I appreciate that, Knights of Val. Thanks for asking. How were the Predators? They were good, man. I mean, they were buffed by Gilliman, so I was able to reroll all the 1s the whole game. But I mean, if you leave 2 Bile Predators alive all game and you can reroll 1s all game, they do a decent bit of work for 110 points. I mean, and I was playing Demons of Nurgle, so everything's really high toughness. Everything's like toughness 6 or toughness 9. Yeah. So new video coming out tomorrow at lunchtime, and it's a fun video. But maybe I need to make another video about this Gilliman list and see, because it's definitely, I iterated on it before I played it from the thing that from the video I made last week. But I'm really serious. I'm like, at the moment, I know I've got a month, so I've got like 2 or 3 more practice games. As it stands right now, I'm thinking I'm taking Gilliman to the GT. This is my Gilliman. Look at this bad boy. He's way too red/orange right now. And we'll fix that though. He looks way... It might just be my monitor because the light in here is very yellow. Yeah, he's way too orange at the moment. I'll be back on Saturday night as well painting. So if anyone wants to come and hang out Saturday night, I'll be here. Maybe for a little bit longer on Saturday night because I don't have work in the morning. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. I will catch you hopefully tomorrow. New video at 1 o'clock. By the blood are we made strong. Have a good evening. Peace.